Wavesound Audio presents an unabridged recording of A Testament of Character by Sulari Gentill, narrated by Rupert Degas. Chapter 1. Singapore Base. London, Tuesday. Speaking at the 1912 Club, Lord Hailsham's private secretary, Captain Graham, said, "If we lose Singapore as a base, we lose every part of the empire east and south of Singapore." Goulburn Evening Penny Post, 13th of February, 1935. The doors which led out to the suite's balcony were open to the brewing storm outside. Heavy clouds churned overhead without releasing their burden, but the wind already carried the scent of rain and jasmine. The gentleman who leaned on the railing wore a dinner suit, traditional black as opposed to the white jackets that were popular in the tropics. The sharp part of his dark hair had been lost in the building gusts. Yet he seemed oblivious to the oncoming tempest. Rowland Sinclair unknotted his bow tie with one hand as he read the letter he held in the other. A missive, summoning him back to Sydney at the earliest convenience, issued by his elder brother, Wilfred, upon whom the mantle and burden of family power had settled. The letter mentioned that there were papers and affairs that required his attention. Rowland doubted that was true. The commercial machinations of the Sinclair fortune had been designed by Wilfred to require little from Rowland beyond an occasional directed signature. It was an arrangement with which they were both happy. Pulling the tie free of his collar, Rowland folded the page and shoved both into his pocket. Rowland and his friends had been in the East for 6 months now, most of it in Shanghai, the last 4 weeks here in Singapore. The animosity which had made his exit from Australia to China seem expedient and timely would by now have settled, surely. Clearly Wilfred believed so, or he would have sent his brother on some other errand abroad. Of course, the sojourn to Shanghai had not proved to be as effective in keeping Rowland out of harm's way as Wilfred had hoped. The treaty port was rife with violence and treachery, in which they'd found themselves embroiled. But they had come out of it more or less intact. They'd lingered in Singapore longer than intended. Wilfred had asked his brother to look into the progress of the massive naval base being built on the island. The construction, begun well over a decade before, had been fraught with delays and changes in policy, but had, with the increase in Japanese aggression in the region, been given new priority. Rowland was not sure of the exact nature of Wilfred's interest in the massive...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?